Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new spoiler review of Star Wars The Bad Batch on Disney Plus. We're going to break down today episode 10, Retrieval. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. I do other movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show every single Tuesday. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. I'll let you know my upcoming videos at the end of this review. Also, please comment down below what are your thoughts on episode 10 of The Bad Batch. What do you want to see in the final 4 weeks of the show? Are you happy that they're going to keep the Bad Batch and the Mandalorian as of now coming out on the same day? Is that a problem for you? Do you think they should change it? Let me know in the comment section down below. I respond to every single comment. And please like the video, guys. The thumbs up button. It's how you support the channel more than you think. So please like that video, the thumbs up button down below. So this episode is basically a two-parter again from last week, where we ended last week, which was the Bad Batch, their ship getting stolen. And they want to get, now this time they want to get their ship back, because as they're trying to put this, they begin this episode, they're trying to put back their, one of these transportation devices back together. And after doing that, Omega gets a read from the Gonk droid, their Gonk droid, on where their ship is. So they're going to go, basically this whole episode is about getting their ship back. And we learn about a character named Benny, who's played, and I knew this right away, actually, Yuri Lowenthal, who is the voice of Peter Parker in the Spider-Man PS4 games, which is my favorite video game of all time. So I could totally hear his voice, especially that big, long monologue that he has in the third act of this episode. I was like, that is definitely my Peter Parker. So he plays a kid named Benny who stole their ship and works for Miners, who's run by Jonathan Lapau. I hope I'm saying his name right. Jonathan Lapau's Moko character. And Moko's definitely a villain. He keeps saying that all these people are scavenging for food and doing all these mines, very similar to Jakku in Star Wars The Force Awakens. But as we learned throughout the episode, that Moko is basically just eating everything for himself and giving one piece of food every day to someone who did the best job that day. And Benny keeps talking about this is his life, this is his home. So this episode is basically they take in Benny and say, help us out. We need to find our ship. And again, not too much really happens this episode, to be honest with you, so this will not be a long video. But as we keep going throughout this episode, Benny goes off with Omega, because Omega can blend in better than the other members of the Bad Batch, while the Bad Batch put together their ship, because they do find their ship. The hyperdrive was taken out, so they try to do that. Omega then sees that obviously that Moko is not who he says he is, or what he's telling them he's doing, he's clearly not doing. So right as this is happening, Benny alerts Moko to capture Omega, and he says, I'm a thief. There's nothing else I can do to help you guys. So the Bad Batch are caught. Omega is caught in the situation. He has to be thrown off into like this burning, firing situation by Moko. And that's when Benny stands up for himself and says, actually, I see this thing, and you're lying to everyone here. You have all this food. You're making us do this for no reason. That's when everyone kind of turns on Moko. Moko dies at the end of this episode, and Benny obviously lets the Bad Batch go. But Omega's basically like to Benny at the end of the episode, she's kind of like, though, go see the galaxy. It's a big galaxy. This doesn't have to be, see the world, basically. And Benny said, this is my home. And he's like, the way that you see your ship is your home, this is my home. And the fact that we're all going to get now an equal share of the profit, I'm cool staying here. So that was the episode. This was a very middle of the road episode of the Bad Batch. This actually could be my least favorite of the entire series so far. This and episode, I think this is, honestly, I'm going to say this is my least favorite episode of season 2 of the Bad Batch so far. It just felt like nothing happened. They just got their ship back. And because the Bad Batch weren't really like the focus, it was kind of Benny and Omega were the focus. I understand the message that they were trying to go for with, Omega sees her ship as the home and Benny sees this place as his home. I understand that. But it just feels like I just felt nothing when the episode ended. I didn't really have a blast either. I just thought it was very much a middle of the road average episode of The Bad Batch that literally you'll forget about in a month or so, maybe even sooner than that. So sorry, this is not a long video. This is not tons to talk about in this episode of The Bad Batch. I am excited though to finish off this series. Sorry, there's 16 episodes. So we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we still have 6 episodes left on this show here in season 2. So 6 more weeks we'll still be going through. 5 more weeks, because they did announce, at least on IMDb, it says that the last 2 episodes will be releasing on the same day. But as I brought out, starting next Wednesday, my upcoming videos here on the channel, as I'm finishing with this review of The Bad Batch. Friday, we get my non-spoiler review of Cocaine Bear. That'll be coming out on Friday. Monday, you'll get my spoiler review of episode 7 of The Last of Us. Followed by Monday, you'll get another, Tuesday, you'll get my box office breakdown show. And a week from today, you'll get my episode 11 spoiler review of The Bad Batch. And you'll also get my season 3, episode 1 spoiler breakdown and review of The Mandalorian. So 2 Star Wars reviews coming out next Wednesday. Hopefully they both come out on Wednesday. I'll see how my schedule works out, but I'm very excited to be talking double the Star Wars now every single week. So that's my breakdown on the new episode of The Bad Batch. I'll see you guys soon.